Hello world, I am Robinson Recalde and this is Introduction to HTML course. Welcome again and thanks for watching EduPediaWorld.com. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about a little bit of ISP, or better known as Internet Service Providers. So, let's start. What's an ISP? An Internet Service Provider is an organization that provides services for accessing, using, or participating in the Internet. Internet service providers may be organized in various forms, such as commercials, community-owned, non-profit, or otherwise privately owned. What do they typically offer? Internet service typically provided by ISPs include Internet access, Internet transit, domain name registration, web hosting, Usenet service, colocation, etc. So now, let's jump to another section. A little bit of history. The Internet, the first ISP, and how all began. The Internet was developed as a network between government research laboratories and participating departments of universities. By the late 80s, a process was set in place towards public commercial use of the Internet. The remaining restrictions were removed by 1995, 4 years after the introduction of the World Wide Web. In 1989, the first ISPs were established in Australia and the United States. In Brooklyn, Massachusetts-based, the World became the first commercial ISP in the US. Its first customer was served in November 1989. On 23rd April 2014, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission (FCC) was reported to be considering a new rule that would permit ISPs to offer content providers a faster track to send content, thus reversing their earlier net neutrality position. A possible solution to net neutrality concerns may be municipal broadband, according to Professor Susan Crawford, a legal and technology expert at Harvard Law School. On 15 May 2014, the FCC decided to consider two options regarding Internet services. First, permit fast and slow broadband lanes, thereby compromising net neutrality. And second, reclassify broadband as a telecommunication services, thereby preserving net neutrality. On 10th November 2014, President Barack Obama recommended that the FCC reclassify broadband Internet services as a telecommunication service in order to preserve net neutrality. So now let's jump to the other section, that is classification. Access providers, ISP. ISPs provide Internet access, employing a range of technologies to connect users to their network. Available technologies have ranged from computer modems with acoustic couplers to telephone lines, to television cable, wireless Ethernet, and fiber optics. For users and small businesses, traditional options include copper wires to provide dial-up, DSL, typically asymmetric digital subscriber line, ADSL, cable modem or integral services digital network, ISDN, typically basic rate interface. Using fiber optics to end users is called a fiber to the home or similar names. For customers with more demanding requirements, such as medium to large businesses or other ISPs, can use higher speed DSL, such as single-pair high-speed digital subscriber line, Ethernet, Metropolitan Ethernet, Gigabit Ethernet, Friend Relay, ISDN primary rate interface, ATN, asynchronous transfer mode, not the ATN that you know from the bank, and synchronous optical networking, SONET. Wireless access is another option, including satellite Internet access. So, mailbox providers. A mailbox provider is an organization that provides services for hosting electronic mail domains with access to storage for mailboxes. It provides email service to send, receive, accept, and store email for end users or other organizations. Many mailbox providers are also access providers, while others are not. For example, Yahoo Mail, Outlook.com, Gmail, AOL Mail, Pbox. The definition given in RFC 6650 covers email hosting services, as well as the relevant department of companies, universities, organizations, groups, and individuals that manage their mail services themselves. The task is typically accomplished by implementing Simple Mail Transfer Protocol (SMTP) and possibly providing access to messages through Internet Message Access Protocol (IMAP). The Post Office Protocol, Webmail, or a proprietary protocol. Webmail is the often used in the web hosting when you have your own web page. So, hosting ISPs. Internet hosting services provide email, web hosting, or online storage services. Other services include virtual server, cloud services, or physical server operation. Transit ISPs. Using the customary payday for Internet access, ISPs themselves paid upstream ISPs for Internet access. An upstream ISP usually has a larger network than the contracting ISP, or is able to provide the contracting ISP with access to parts of the Internet the contracting ISP by itself has no access to. Virtual ISPs. A virtual ISP, VISP, is an operation that purchases services from another ISP, sometimes called a wholesale ISP in this context, which allow the BIST customer to access the Internet using services and infrastructure owned and operated by the wholesale ISP. VISPs resemble mobile virtual network operators and competitive local exchange carriers for voice communications. Free ISPs. Free ISPs are Internet service providers that provide service free of charge. Many free ISPs display advertisement while the user is connected, like commercial television. In a sense, they are selling the user's attention to the advertiser. Other free ISPs, sometimes called freenet, are run on a non-profit basis, usually with volunteer staff. And the last one is wireless ISP. A wireless Internet service provider (WISP) is an Internet service provider with a network based on wireless networking. I know it's a little bit boring knowing this stuff, but it's really necessary if you want to be part of the new world. So, to end this, you need to know about this new image. This image, I found it on the Wikipedia, and it's really useful for what we are going to learn in today's lesson. You have here all the conceptual map of the Internet. The cable customers, the ADC customer, the ADC customer, the dial-up customer. Dial-up is something that we are not using to this date. You can find some dial-up over the world, but in our houses we are using now ADSL cable customer or even satellite internet. So you have here the map. Here you have the dial-up customer. Here you have the central office of the ISP, the Internet Service Providers, and here you have all the cloud, the Internet itself. The cloud operator functions almost the same as the IDSL, but the difference is the IDSL is with a wire and the cable operator is wireless because it's for satellite. This is it for now. Thanks for watching Edupedia World. I hope to see you soon in other videos. Remember that if you have any questions, you can post it on the comments below. Thanks for watching Edupedia World. Goodbye.